Here are 12 online reviews of the audiobook titled, The Bride Test. Written by Helen Hoang and narrated by Emily Wu Zeller. 1. I wanted to like this book so much. The premise is promising, but the book doesn't deliver. I have no patience at all for romance books with stupid female protagonists in need of rescuing. And Esme is one of the stupidest ones I have encountered. Chapter 9 has me about to rage quit. Edit, a couple of chapters later, and I'm wanting to strangle the idiot. 2. Worst female lead ever. I wanted to like this book so much. The narration was amazing. And, to be fair, I really loved the male lead. He was unique and interesting and complex and you couldn't help but root for him. But the female lead was the worst female character I have ever read about. The amount of time dedicated to her fixating on how disgusting and horrible she thought she was unbearable. And her fixations would just pop up and disappear again whenever it was most convenient for the plot, but it was never dealt with or addressed. It made the main character absolutely unbearable. The story just wandered about and the characters just acted completely randomly without any rhyme or reason. DNF about 2 chapters from the end because I was just too fed up. 3. Horrible. I rarely use the word hate, but I honestly abhorred this book. The manipulation of someone on the spectrum is wrong on each and every level one can think of. Esme was focused only on taking care of her daughter and truly only a heinous despicable person would do what she and his mother did. I am honestly disgusted and disappointed in this book. Walking around half naked, throwing herself at a man who is truly unsuspecting and unknowing and her own mother telling her to throw herself at him was enough to make me want to punch someone. How anyone could find this sweet and cute is beyond my comprehension. Each and every woman was telling her to whore herself out to get him. There are not enough words to express my disgust. When she learns he has autism she doesn't even try to learn about it or him and only is using him as a means to an end for her daughter. I understand and truly appreciate the love a parent has for her child, but there is no excuse for her behavior or that of her mother or his mother. I just don't get how no one else found the same issues. 4. Hard to finish. I suppose it's what you'd expect of this genre. While this book was going for that feel-good rom-com delivery, it often landed on cringy bad cliches. I liked the Vietnamese culture in this book and it's really what I was interested in. But aside from that, it was a hard book to listen to without rolling your eyes. The narration was pretty good actually. She did the different voices and speech patterns well. 5. Not recommended. Emily Zeller is a very good narrator and because of her narration the listening of the book was possible. However, the story plot is so artificially crafted that at times I felt giving up the book. But to be fair in rating the story I had to finish it. My straightforward critique without spoiling the story is, very weak plot and characters, unrealistic sequence of events, unrealistic time frame. 6. Saucy love story. Asian Pacific Heritage Month led me to this book and it did not let down. After the first chapter it took me a while to pick up the book once again. I knew that the background was similar to the common popular reality shows known as 90 Day Fiancé or Marriage at First Sight. After understanding the premises of the story I was excited to read it. Although the sex scenes made me blush I am happy that the book gave a little bit more sauce with the overall heavy storyline. I really liked that the main character had emotional and mental challenges that created a very believable storyline. I'm looking forward to enjoying another book from the list of Asian-inspired novels. 7. Does not disappoint. I loved the love quotient and was nervous to read this, as I'm always worried that the next book won't be quite as good. But I shouldn't have. This book was great. I love the tension, the characters, and some unexpected complexities. Highly recommend, just make sure your car Bluetooth doesn't automatically start playing on the way to school. 8. Couldn't put it down. Esme is a mixed-race woman from Vietnamese who found her dream of an education crushed when she found herself pregnant and had to go to work full-time to support her sweet baby. The hero is an American, autistic man from Vietnamese descent. He never even considered marriage, but his meddling mom has other plans when she brings Esme to the US to see if they would be a good match. What unfolds is a wonderful story about 2 people acclimating to cultural differences, new experiences, and to truly learning about yourself. Such a wonderful story. I couldn't put it down. Everything I've read by Helen Hoang has been exceptional. And the narration is fantastic. 9. So sweet. I got this book as a daily deal and thought it might be a nice bit of fluff for some time when I needed a little light reading. I'm not much into romance, but I liked the premise of this one, it seemed like a nice twist on the usual form. What a pleasant surprise to find that it wasn't fluff at all but was instead a very complex, entertaining, and heartwarming love story. It was well worth my time. My problem with most romances is all the manipulative machinations that the writer goes through to keep the couple who obviously loves each other apart. This couple has plenty that keeps them apart as well, but it doesn't feel manipulative at all but instead very true to their characters. And by the last page, they have earned their happy ending. Sweet and heartwarming without being sappy or lightweight. One caveat: I have a feeling the male main character would be considered on the spectrum but not fully autistic. Not sure when this book was written, but this guy is a highly functioning adult, more likely Asperger's. 10. Slow burn love story. After reading The Kiss Quotient several times, it took me some time to come back to Helen Hoang. I was afraid that the other books just weren't good enough. Luckily, I was wrong. Kai is autistic, but what he leaves unsaid he makes up with actions. First, I was a bit annoyed by Esme's over-cheerful attitude while her 5-year-old and whole family were living in humble conditions in Vietnam. As the book progressed, I understood that she just was such a positive and glowing person. The chemistry was there and kept me in the hook waiting for the culminations. Loved it. 11. Wonderful, real, miss these characters. I fell in love with these characters and became connected with them quickly. I'm very familiar with autism, so I immediately knew the Kai was autistic, but what a wonderful story showing that autism is more than a label. This Vietnamese family's strong bond, one of the many things that is special about the Asian culture, along with their strong work ethic. Helen Hoang's books are always filled with beautiful stories that have real-life conflicts, and she gives them ease that are realistic. Kudos to Ms. Hoang, I'm a big fan of her books. Ms. Zeller did a terrific job narrating the many voices, and I'm a fan of hers. Recommend this book to those who like stories about fighting against the odds to make something of yourself, female, when everything seems against you, includes Asian American culture and romance. 12. Loved this book. Tender, raw, vulnerable, confident, cultural, love manifested in so many different ways. I loved this book. The book has some language which made me question if I wanted to continue, but I am very glad I did. I loved reading the perspective of an autistic MC, learning about some of the Vietnamese culture in America, the yearning for freedom to achieve a better life, and the value of family and hard work. From misunderstanding the connection between feelings and behavior to unsubstantiated prejudice as a result of self-perceived shortcomings, this book takes the reader on a beautiful journey of growth. The reader is drawn into the story by well-developed settings and characters, and Hoang's writing is engaging from start to finish. The reader can't help but develop a fondness and love for the characters and is left satisfied at the conclusion of the book. The love scenes were passionate and sensual without being overly graphic. Thank you for watching. Please, do not forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Tune in for more online audiobooks reviews.